Hello, guys. How's it going? How's it going, everyone? And welcome to the live tonight. Welcome. How's it going? Kindly share the live, guys. Share the live with others. Tell them I'm live tonight because we have a guest, y'all. I started the live a little bit later than usual. But hello, Caroline, my sister Caroline. Good evening, everyone. Mr. Jackson, hello, Life in Haiti family, and Marie, my sister Kay. Hello, Marie, and the guests of the house. A blessed Sunday to all. So, guys, there's always controversy between Haiti and DR, right? I said, you know what? Who best? Someone who doesn't have invested interest, okay? Well, I would say no invested interest. Maybe others might say different, but one of the things is they are outside looking in and really don't know what is supposed to be. So it's been said, right? Haiti and DR have such a bad reputation with each other. It is always some type of bickering amongst Haitians in DR, especially amongst Haitian and DR Dominican government. So, who else to bring to the stage to discuss this topic a little further more than my brother Jorge, guys? Welcome, Jorge.
Hey, Miss Marie.
Hello, my brother. How's it going? And it is good to have you back. How are you?
Can't complain, can't complain. Living the dream, I guess. My mom's been active these last couple weeks, so I almost didn't make it. I apologize in
Wow.
advance if you guys hear her in the background. For the people that don't know, my mom has dementia, so I apologize in advance. She can come out at any time, or you might hear something back there, but we okay.
Let me tell you something. You already know one thing about this audience. By now, you know we love you and your mom.
I appreciate you.
So there's nothing that can like make us look at you any type of way, and we all understand that you have a big job on your hand. So at any time, if you have to part ways, you just let me know, and you know you welcome back at any given time, and we can continue with this, right?
I appreciate you and your audience. Yeah, I know your subscribers are like part of your family. So that's
I
that.
love them. They're awesome. So, man, I'm telling you, this is a topic. You Dominican
Yes.
by
Well, I was
blood.
in the States though. I was
All right.
Dominican, but I lived in the States all my life. My mom is Dominican. So yes, I guess you
Right.
could say I'm Dominican.
Okay. Well, I am Haitian and was raised in the state. So for the average person, I've had people to tell me, Marie, you a cowgirl. You're not Haitian
Hmm.
because I'm a Texan. So
Hmm.
I think in a way I can easier everything I do it as a Texan. Okay, so my heart is big, just like a Texan.
Okay.
So, but you're living in DR, being raised in the U.S. I'm living in Haiti, being raised in the U.S. But these two neighboring countries, there is so much conflict between them, right?
Hmm.
So I'm going to start off with the topic. You are Dominican, I am Haitian. From what you see as boots on the ground in DR, should we be at war? Should we not be friends?
Me and you, Miss Marie, and all people, we should not be at war. From my perspective, I think that the powers that be, I don't know if I can say that, or if there's certain things that you can and can't say on YouTube. You know, I'm new to this, but I think that the powers that be, right? We all know who the powers that be, the people that really control the world, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
think they have a great understanding in the powers of numbers, right? So
Mm-hmm.
their number one agenda, in my opinion, Jorge's opinion, is to divide. If I can get two people that are pretty much the same, the only thing that really separates us is the language, to divide, it kind of dilutes the situation. You get what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that works in everywhere. Like if a person migrates to the States, or if you use black versus white, rich versus poor, light skin versus dark skin, anytime you can add a way to divide a group of people, it weakens them, in my
Wow.
opinion.
Okay. So there's a lot of division, right? I
Uh,
know we spoke earlier, and I think that us, as far as minorities, we create division within ourselves. Like we're great at doing that. Even we could take this subject to a way broader horizon, right? Let's say African Americans and foreign blacks, right? We create division amongst each other. Do you think that the powers that divide have created division between Haitians and Dominican? And for what do you think that they've created that division?
yeah, I mean, of course, I think that they created the division, and that's basically how most people operate, because that's what was instilled in us throughout the generations, is teaching us how to divide instead of teaching us how to multiply. In my opinion, you know, like me personally, the only reason I'm talking about this is because it's with you, but you already know, anytime you talk about politics, race, or religion, it's is no longer what common sense is, no longer the black and white, is no longer the facts, is always an emotional or what side of the fence you're on. So, and everything that I say is my opinion based off of my experience, you know. So of course I
Mm-hmm.
think that they divide, and there's always benefit from, okay, an island being so small, let's put them against each other. Okay, the Haitians versus the Dominican. But I don't really think it should be like that, because we all sit in the same boat. And the real problem lies in the politics. Just like in the States, just like the Dominican Republic, just like in Haiti, I think that most of the harm that's done to Dominicans is by Dominicans, just like most of the harm that's done to Haitian is by Haitians. In my opinion, I'm always going to say that just in case somebody pops up and be like, remember, I'm not no professional at this. I'm not a professional at politics or, you know, history. It's just my opinion. I think, you know, and that's just like in the States. You know, most of the harm done in the black community is by African Americans. So,
Wow.
yeah, in my opinion, I think that. What do you think?
You hit big notes. Honestly, Haitians, we are our biggest problems, right? Because we want to run to DR and give DR all of our energy while our house deteriorates. And I understand the ins and outs of that too, because our country, it doesn't offer the best of security, whereas DR does. Now, should we be at war? Why I ask that? The economy in DR, what does it offer a Haitian? Okay. And I'm going to take you somewhere where it may be even a little bit more controversy. So, you guys, if you all have a question, please share the live with others. Don't forget, guys, to please hit that like button as you come in. And if you have a question, please drop it down below. Okay. I'm going to take you somewhere further with this because the powers that be, right? They're not just the government as far as Dominicans and Haitian government. Now, do you believe that the powers that be are higher than both of these small islands that controls what is promoted within us too, within our borders? Do you believe that?
Of course, because anytime you dependent of another country, let's just say the U.S. or let's
Mm-hmm.
just say any other country, they're going to have an influence on the things that you can and can't do. That's just normal. Not to
Wow.
say that it's right, obviously, but it is something that if anybody say is not normal or normal practice, they're turning the blind. They just choose not to see that.
So, as a Dominican,
Uh,
do you think that maybe other countries have offered opportunities to the island Dominican Republic that has not been offered to Haiti, and why?
uh, maybe. Like I said, I'm not a professional on that stuff. Maybe, but I do say like this is a question for you. Do you think that it was because you guys have been hit hard, not just by your government, but by natural disasters. The infrastructure
Mhm.
has been hit hard. I remember with a couple years ago, and it was back to back. That took a big toll, I believe, on you guys' economy and the way you know the building practices over there couldn't
Mhm.
withstand some of the natural disasters that happened. So a lot of people didn't recover from that, in my opinion. Like I said, I
Mhm.
have friends that are Haitian, and this is just from what they told me. Now, as far as like on the Dominican side, like you say, I think that the issue, like you said, you're Haitian, but you was born in the States, right?
Mhm.
I'm Dominican, but I was born in the States. So we're going to view things and process things different because we're not in a local born person's position, right? So on my channel, I like to just give people things to talk about, like think about. So it's not
Okay.
no right or wrong. It all depends on what lenses you're looking from, right?
That's
So
right.
when you're talking about the divide, I think that the divide starts off of the economics. Like you said, your question a few minutes ago was, what does the DR offer Haitians economic wise, right? What
No,
does
no, no.
DR,
My
what does the
question is
DR
the
have to
powers
offer?
that be. The powers that be, because one of the reasons why we're at war, guys, for everyone who's watching, I think it all boils down to money.
Of course.
Okay. And right now, to me, DR have a country that is more stabilized. The powers that be, in your words, right, are the people that really have and that are able to have control of that country. They're the executive powers in that country.
Hmm.
Okay. And DR, if you ask me, there are some great executive powers that have their hands there that are offering opportunities to DR
Okay.
because a lot of other countries have invested in DR. Do you think? So I'm gonna make it lighter for you because I know you. We talked before this, right?
Hmm.
Do you think, Jorge, and you know we're supposed to be at war here. So
But
the
we're
first,
not. We're definitely not. I love you
yes,
to
we
death.
are.
I
We
love
at
you to death.
war.
And the community and your
So,
community.
right? Do you think that DR gets more love from the powers that be because Haiti, because of the color of our skin, y'all? I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here. Okay.
Okay.
Do you think, let's just go with the travel guys somewhat, right? So many people are not coming into Haiti, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the security of this and that they say with Haiti. However, Haiti is a country you can come into. From what I am told, the crime rates is just as bad in DR. The thing is, DR have more police present. It's more controlled, more structured, whereas Haiti is not. So what happens in Haiti looks a lot worse than what goes on in DR. But overall, do you think that it's a color thing which offers Dominican Republic the opportunities over Haiti?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. If you my neighbor, he's is a Haitian family. If you was to saying me and him next
Okay.
side by side and we don't speak, you wouldn't know who's Haitian and who's not, or who's Dominican and who's not. So I don't think it's a color. If you think about it, we all came from the same place at the same stop, right? So I don't think it's
That's
that.
true.
What I think is, okay, so we've already discussed the powers that be, but I think that we give as individuals the powers that be too much credit. Like I said, they only really have the credit of dividing if we allow them to make us divide, right? But look at you, little old Miss Marie. I've never seen you, but you look like you're this big, you know. But if you was to close your eyes and just listen to the things that you do, you would think that you a giant, right? A woman that on my live shared that she was deported after a couple years in prison with a duffel bag with no money. And look at all the changes that you've made. So that's why I say, like, we give too much credit at the powers to be. What if there was 1,000 Miss Maries or 20,000 Miss Maries? And how many Haitians? And this is, we have to be, we as people don't like the hard truth, right? And they've programmed us to be dependent of them, right? Instead of being dependent of us, right? Us being the
Mm.
whole group, right? So a lot of people focus on what they are
Mm-hmm.
doing wrong, what the powers that be is doing wrong. How about what are we as
Mm-hmm.
people doing?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get to Haiti with a duffel bag and $30? And look how many lives you've touched in 2 years. You told
Mm-hmm.
me that how many kids are you putting through school
Mm-hmm.
this year? Hello? Can you hear me?
I'm up there to almost 70. Almost 70.
70 kids,
Yes, I can hear you.
70 kids get an opportunity to go to school from
Mm-hmm.
a woman that got deported, was
Mm-hmm.
scratched out of the society to most people, got deported with a duffel bag and $30, I think it was, or something like that. $300. Now imagine if there was 100,000 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Look how many people in the state. But here go the hard truth. Here go the hard truth. And no disrespect, and there's no jab to you, right? This is no jab to you. But
Mm-hmm.
I fall in the same boat. And I'm gonna use myself first. Guess guess when Jorge started caring about dementia?
Hmm. And that's
When
true.
when dementia came knocking on my door. Now I study.
It's
Now,
different when it hits home.
so it's different when it hits home. But what if it hit home for people that are not even in the situation, right? What if they don't wait to get deported to come to Haiti and help Haiti? So I
Mm-hmm.
think that a lot of people, we focus on what the powers to be, the politician, they're gonna do what they do, and we have no control over that. But what I'm saying is, yes, is there a divide? Maybe, depending on what lenses you're looking at it from. I feel that
Mm-hmm.
it's more of a we problem.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
don't do enough until you face like your situation. I didn't do nothing for dementia. I didn't do no research on dementia. I didn't even know what dementia was until my mother got dementia. Were so I asked you, were you active in the Haitian community before you got deported to Haiti?
At church, I've
Yeah, I'm
always
talking about
been,
as far
but
as
in
donating,
Haiti, no,
sending
no.
money back home.
Sending money back home, I had to because of my parents, yes. But
But I'm talking about to
donating
the other community.
financially, no, no,
And I think that,
no.
like myself, you would agree that if you can turn back
Hmm.
the hands of time, you will see that you had opportunity to do more, like most
A
people, right?
lot more.
You would have sent all your money, you would have been building stuff in Haiti. If you knew that you was gonna get deported, guess what? You would have set a whole different life over there, right? But it's okay because we're not supposed to know what's coming in the future because you know our just the way we go will be different.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Wow.
I think the divide is more. Yeah, is there a divide? Some people will pitch that, but I don't really see that. I've never seen that. I think like here, a lot of Haitians will complain about the working conditions, right? Because as we all know, most of the people, DR is built by
Patience.
Haitians that migrate over here, just like the U.S. is built
By
by
Mexicans.
Mexicans, Dominicans that go illegal, Haitians that go illegal. But that's just normal. But if depending on what your agenda is, you're gonna pitch that story as, oh, they're abusing the Haitians. Yeah, I mean, it happens, but that's because you're in a country that you're not legally part of, just like Mexicans to the States. So of course you got to take low income work. You know, like my neighbor, he's he be telling me stories, but they do import exports. His kids, he has a daughter and a son. They're doctors. They're in school here to become doctors. They're almost finished. So it all depends if you. But guess what? I'm pretty sure I've never had the conversation with them, but they're here legal.
Wow. Are they still illegal there?
No. I'm saying I've never asked, obviously, but I'm saying that I'm pretty sure they are legal because I know that he has some type
They
of business.
are. Okay.
Yeah, he has some type of business. He has some type of business here, and they import export stuff. And his kids go to the university, so they're about to almost finish to become doctors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's in every country. It's not like a DR versus Haitian thing. No, I mean yes. Can they say that their labor laws being exploited? Are they taking construction people probably
Wow.
taking advantage? Of course, I will agree with that.
Wow.
What do you think, Miss Marie?
Wow. So we go to the audience a little bit. Yours truly, and no, you're right. Because being raised in Texas, we have a lot of Hispanics. It's, yes, I'm here. I'm here. The internet.
Her internet is acting up. I don't know if you guys can see me or hear me while her internet is acting up. But I 100% agree with Stallion. It's always about the money. Always.
Mhm. Yes, it was a delay, so I'm back. How is it now?
Now you're good. You're good. You're good to go. I
It's
was just saying
good.
that I 100% agree with Stallion. Like it's always
Mm-hmm.
about the money, always about the So, but they make it sound capitalism and the powers that be wants you to focus that is on other things. It's a race because race is powerful. Race
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
moves mountains. Religion moves
Mm-hmm.
mountains. All right. But at the end of the day, to me, I feel like it's like Stallion. It's a economics thing. And being a Dominican that wasn't born here, like I said, you got to tread lightly when talking about these topics. Being a Dominican that wasn't born here, I can see where a low income Dominican could have a problem with that, right? Because it's all supply and demand, right? If just like in the States, let's forget about the Haitian and Dominican stuff. It's the same thing in the States. What's the number one thing that people push in the States as far as labor? Oh, that the Mexicans coming over and they're willing to do something for $5 an hour when the going rate should be $10 an hour, right? So that creates a
Mm-hmm.
divide between the American that's trying to get that $10 job, but doesn't want to do it for the $5 an hour job, right? But obviously, to somebody like a Mexican that's coming to the States, it makes it attractive
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it says, well, shoot, in Mexico, I'm doing the same job for $1. So I'm winning doing it for $5 anyway. Right? So it's kind of like the same,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know about over there, but they say that the Dominican economics, um, it's 10 times stronger than the Haitians, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, or
Hmm. Hmm. Probably so right now, due to the security issues that we have that's ongoing in our country. I'm sure, but that could very well change if we get our stuff together, you know. But maybe right now it is.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So it makes it
So let's give a
appealing.
shout out to some people in the audience with us. And guys, don't forget to check out my brother's channel, which is Journey with My Mom. Don't forget, guys, check out his uh-huh. Check out his channel, guys. The internet is kind of lagging a little bit. So I just want to thank you all for your patience. Y'all know how it is in Haiti, and it is pouring down, raining outside as we do the live. So that could be contributing to the reason why the internet is as bad as it is tonight. But let's give a shout out to Steph.
I think she was about to, yeah, styling. You right, my brother. The French had slowed down Miss Marie's internet. You right about that.
I'm right here.
Okay.
What is going on? Why do I have like two screens of me?
Stallion said it's the
Okay.
French. They
I'm
get
back. I'm back. So we'll go to the audience a little bit. Stallion,
you.
blame the French. Stallions, thank you so very much. You've carried five people, five people. It is always about the dollar all the time. Los Angeles has the largest concentration of Muslims and Jews. They are not killing each other. That's right, guys. Um, I noticed some comments here. I may not be able to get to everybody. Jr. Sherlock, if I mispronounce your name, please forgive me. Yours truly says Dominicans are trying to force us to look inward and find the best way to fix our beloved Haiti. And sometimes forcing somebody to be independent may be the only way that they will stand up the tallest, okay? And Haiti is at a point where we definitely have to get people to stop being a yes man to our country and say, hey, you need to fix the problems that you have. You have the assets, you have the resources, and me allowing my daughter remain open to you is causing me more problems than what I already have. So, countries who are tough on Haiti, personally, I don't have a problem with that because they need to be tough with us so that we can get our stuff together here. Jorgen Hippolyte say the day the islands gets together is the day we might take over the world, right? That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whistling Barthelus says Miss Marie in Haiti, it morning. No, is it morning or afternoon? It is evening actually. It is 7:51 at this time in Haiti, okay? If I got to your question late, it is 7:51. Mr. John says you can't be naive about the history of the two countries. You have to be well informed before talking about this subject. And we want you all to know that this is not a well educated certain things. It doesn't take all of the education to be able to speak on it. Some things it is what it is because I'm gonna tell you one of the reasons too. As I was thinking about you coming here, Dominican is trying to keep Haitians out, right? Jorge, are you able to hear me? Is the internet good?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. So as Dominicans is trying to keep Haitians out, no, okay, know that it is not just Haitians who is a problem to DR. Because if you've been watching the latest news in Haiti, we have it where we do have Dominicans that are in Haiti and that are a part of Haiti's problems. So this does not take someone that has a PhD in history or world history to be able to speak on it. Okay, so Mr. John, no, living in Haiti, guys, and knowing what's going on, seeing what's going on, hearing the stories of what's going on, it is by right as a Haitian, you are entitled to have your feelings, as well as a Dominican is entitled to have their feelings towards us Haitians. Yours truly says the Haitians need to stop glorifying the racketeers. We need to standardize goodness, integrity, honesty, and all these great human and family values that you can't buy with money. Wow. Good statement. Good statement. Deja Williams said, hi, Miss Marie, son Lee. Hello, my sister. How's it going? Yvette says, I respect both of you. Please be careful with this discussion. Exandia Matias, hi Marie. You guys, as you come in, please give this live a like. Give this live a like. Mr. John say Haiti is also a politically unstable country. That's why it can't prosper. And Haiti has lots of enemies due to their past history, both national and internationally. No one comes to Haiti. I guys, I don't know how to take that comment, right? But I am going to do my best not to reply negatively, right? We know all of the bad about Haiti, so I do not need people to constantly push the bad about Haiti or to remind us of what's bad about Haiti. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, just as it doesn't take a person with a PhD to discuss it, because nobody have a PhD in Haiti and what's going on in Haiti. You are hearing what you are hearing about Haiti and you forming an opinion. But I am a Haitian woman, and as I welcome other people to the stage to discuss the relationships amongst other countries, know that I love my country. All right. I love Haiti, and I do all that I do for Haiti. And it is never here to bash Haiti, okay? So who likes Haiti, who doesn't like Haiti, who believe and who doesn't believe, I don't really care to hear your opinion. I'm here to decipher and run with those that do have hope. Even though it don't look like it from the mountain that's in front of us. But I know the many of Haitians that are watching that continues to have hope for Haiti, all right? And do we have enemies? Yes, we do have enemies, but we're not here to focus on our enemies, guys. Peter says you guys are not tough, and the main reason why Haiti DR is not getting along. The main reason is that Haitian have embraced their heritage and DR has rejected black heritage. DR is not. DR is not what? Would you like my brother to share on what he just said on that comment?
I mean, like I said, like DR is definitely. I don't know where they're coming from as far as that DR hasn't embraced their heritage. I think that DR is definitely heavy on their heritage. Definitely heavy on their heritage, in my opinion. Like I said, like I think the big issue is like Stallion says economics, and number two, I think the big issue is like Joel Cruz said, the occupy the health services. That is a big thing. So that's why I say it's very important to understand which side of the fence you on as far as how it affects you, right? So it's easy for me to say, or somebody else to say, oh, it's not an issue when illegals, be it Haitians, be it Venezuelans, be it whoever, comes to occupy a country. If it's an issue when Mexicans occupy a country like the United States, which obviously is in a better economic situation than the Dominican Republic, right? And it still has problems to give everybody what they need. Now imagine a place like Dominican Republic that's already stripped from a lot of resources and also being occupied by a lot of illegal people, right? Be it, like I said, Haitians, Cubans, Venezuelans, because here they have a lot of Venezuelan issues too with immigration, right? Illegal people coming to Dominican Republic. But it's easy for somebody like myself, as I say, a Dominican coming from the States, to be like, well, it's not a big issue. Well, here's the problem. I don't go to public hospitals. I don't go to take my mom to a public doctor. My mom doesn't have to wait in the emergency room, thankfully, for 5-6 hours because she has, be it Haitians or Venezuelans, ahead of her. So I can see, that's why I said, like, this is a topic that I really wouldn't talk about, but I can see both sides of the fence. I can see, just like anybody else could see, hey, where a Dominican would have an issue with that. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's just realistic. That's
Because
why
that's
that's
resources that a low earning Dominican person would want to have, just like a person in the States. A low income earner in the States will want those government assistance that the states have to offer them. But guess what? Somebody else. So we can't like just be blind because it benefits our agenda. Of course, a Haitian's gonna be like, oh, it shouldn't be an issue. We're all people. Yeah, but it's not an issue because that person is benefiting from that situation. But if it was vice versa, they would have an issue with it. So that's why I say, like, when you talk about religion, you talk about race, or you talk about anything like this, it's a problem because you don't know. You're only going to view things on how it affects you. That
that's
part right
true.
there doesn't affect me because thankfully I have the resources to take her to a private doctor, to take her to, all these other specialists. But if I was a Dominican born in the Dominican Republic with low income, yes, I would have a problem with that. So,
And this is
Joel
why
Cruz
we
is
have these conversations, okay, my brother?
Huh?
even though they're sensitive subjects, but it is information that need to be put out there so that people who are watching that are in this situation can understand. Sometimes we don't have to take things so personal. Sometimes I stumble up on a YouTube upload, and after watching it, I get a whole different perspective on a situation that I'm facing or that I'm in, while it's not personal. So now maybe a Haitian person can step out of it is solely because I'm Haitian that I am treated this way, that they can understand. Even when my parents, as an example, traveled from Haiti to the United States with paperwork, dad started at a low paying job. It probably was a job that most Americans were not going to do,
Hmm.
okay, to get to where when as he grew in the country, as he learned the language, as he did this, he did that, he went to school, then he got a better and better job so that Haitians can understand, okay? It's not just, oh, Dominicans or whatever just hate Haitians. And you do, okay? But you do have that percentage that have that underlying racism too, okay? But we'll never really, you can't never pinpoint it, but what you just said is reality.
And then another thing is also like Stallion said, it's the money situation too. So if I'm a low earn, and this is why I say it's not really a Dominican versus Haitian thing. It's more of the immigration situation. So, like we discussed earlier, if you're a Haitian and you're not legally entering the Dominican Republic, right, where you have to pay taxes, where you have to pay health insurance out of your check, you're mostly working under the table, just like a Mexican will work or Salvadorian will work in the States, or anybody that goes illegal to the States. They work under the table, right? So you create a hit on the job market too, if you think about it. Like I said, most people don't want to face the reality, but that's reality. And I'm not going to say that it's right or wrong, right? Because
Mhm.
obviously people migrate to where they migrate to because they're seeking opportunity. And while seeking opportunity, you're gonna be sacrificing, right? So, like for instance, me, I moved from the U.S. to the Dominican Republic to give me the opportunity to take care of my mom in a dignified way, right? So I didn't
Mhm.
want to put my mom into the nursery home in the States. So I moved to Dominican Republic for opportunity. I understand that some Haitians come here illegally for opportunity, but that doesn't make it always right, right? That doesn't,
Mhm.
so we got to agree on that. So where I say it may take a hit on the job market, let's just say that the average job for construction workers, the average salary for construction workers is $10 an hour, right? That's average, that's standard. What does that hotel or that developer have to pay? He has to pay $10 an hour, right? That's the average
Mhm.
job. But here you go, what happens when you have corruption and um, the illegal situation as far as employment come in. So now it's no longer $10 an hour because guess what? Be it a Venezuelan, being a Haitian, they can come in and say, you know what? I'm gonna undercut it. That's the only way I can get that job. Like I said before, I'm gonna undercut it, and I'm willing to take $5 an hour. So now you just took a lot of people's job that was making $10 an hour. Are you gonna be happy about that?
But let's just go a different route with that, okay? And we're not going to go too far because we don't want to be political. And, there are certain things YouTube is sensitive about. But there are a lot of companies, big companies that we support, the big names that we wear their names, they have their major factories in other countries because the average American is not willing to do that type of hard work. So what do? They come out here to Haiti. They go out there to DR. They set up shop, and what somebody that they would pay $10, $15 an hour based on the state, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They can now pay a normal, everyday Haitian $3 an hour. Okay, so it is that's all from. So it's not just us, like you said, we do more to each other, but then you have the power that controls. They come in and they set. I think they set the pace for the race. Okay,
Uh-huh.
but that's a whole other story too. But
But that's
Joel,
what I'm saying. That can cause the divide, is what I'm saying. That can definitely cause a divide. If you are low earning Dominican family and you just lose your job,
mm,
right? So
mhm.
yes, it creates an opportunity for the Haitian family, but it takes away from the Dominican family. So like I said, I can see, just like anybody else, you can see both sides of the fence. You can see where there could be friction. Just like Stallion said, if it was the other way around, it would be the same conversation. It would be the same
But you know,
conversation.
we do have Dominicans living in Haiti.
Of
The
course.
difference with DR and Haiti is that, and this is a whole nother subject because we're coming up on the hour, but one of the problems many of us Haitians have is what is our immigration laws? But we don't want to stay on politics because, see, many Haitians are paying the price of, we can leave that in the air, in search of opportunities. But we
Mhm.
have it where other countries, other nations, other nationals come into our country and none of that applies to them. So Haitians are the ones who hurt Haitians the most. Because when a Dominican comes to Haiti, they live like a king. You do not hear the stories about a Dominican being mistreated in our country. So come on, guys, who's really the problem? Qui est-ce qui problème nan? Parce que Dominicain a vive dans pays, nous pas jamais tant de problèmes. Ça pas jamais un problème. Tout le monde a entré dans pays, nous yo vive tant kou roi, pas vrai? Mais nous même là nous dans pays yo, c'est un lot bagay. So qui est-ce qui problème nan vraiment peuple là? Est-ce que c'est eux même ou bien c'est nous-mêmes qui sans honte parce que porte pas nous ouvert, mais eux même là yo vinn la caille nous c'est tant kou roi nous maltraiter pas nous pour nous ouvrir porte nous pour étranger. C'est ça fait là dans le caille moun ça nous joindre ça joindre gérer. Maman toujours dit l'on al kay moun jan yo traité sou pa remen pa retourner. Mais maman qui a gardé si que ou maltraité petit ou bay petit là ou quitter le sans choix tout pour prendre la rien pour la chercher manger. So c'est dans situation ça peuple là hier. So our people is in a bad situation, my brother.
Yeah,
It's just it's
but
it's
the
places
situation,
we could go with that, but
the,
it's not DR's fault.
that's what I was about to say.
No. It's not DR's fault.
I believe that the situation always starts within the situation when Haitians decide to migrate to the Dominican Republic is in seeking opportunity, right? So obviously they're not being treated, but like I said, obviously you're going to have your situations, your pocket of situations, right? But when they're moving to another country, it's seeking opportunity. Just like when people migrate to the States, just like I moved here seeking an opportunity. So I can't move here to seek an opportunity and then complain about the Dominican Republic. Like that doesn't make sense.
Hold on. No, my brother. Let me give you a different perspective. I agree 100% with your perspective, and I'm sure many others do. But you've never been to Haiti to understand the perspective that I'm giving you. And I just want you to take it and put it in your pocket, right?
Uh-huh.
You, on the other hand, if you came into Haiti, you would be offered a whole different opportunity. You would be offered the experience of experiencing Haiti that the average Haitian does not have the same opportunity to.
But I just finished saying, okay, it goes back to what Stallion is saying. That
Mm-hmm.
opportunity would be given to me because of my financial situation.
No, no, no,
My
no, 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 no,
neighbor,
no, no,
my
no, no.
neighbor,
Let's go back. Let's go back, my brother. We're gonna debate on this. If you come into Haiti, just a poor Dominican, just like, dude, there are some people that I see in Haiti. I'm like, I can put them in a profile real quick. They could very well be even on a run from the police in their country, and this is what we're seeing. They are on the run from their country. They are leaders of things that are not good in our country, but our country never take the time out. I can take a normal Dominican man that's not of your statute and bring him to Haiti, and opportunities and doors would be open for him way more than the average everyday person. And believe me when I tell you that it is a difference. And I know that security is the reason why so many Haitian people are going to DR, which by right, DR does offer their people a safety net. But what I'm saying is, no, Jorge,
so you don't
of
think it
course.
has anything, you don't think that a lot, not most, just a lot
Mhm.
of the population that migrates from Haiti to the DR is because of economic reasons and economic problems that are going on in Haiti?
True.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like I'm pretty sure there's other things. I'm pretty sure there's other
But
situations.
hold on, how come there's economic issues for the normal everyday Haitians, but there's no economic issues for average Dominican coming into Haiti? Opportunities are offered to them.
I
They
wouldn't.
come in. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. That is some of the tension that is behind the relationship. And this has nothing to do with the average everyday people. All right. If we go on a more in-depth level with this, right? I'm not even finna go there because I don't even think my audience is really, really ready for this. Because you know, even the Bible tells you a poor man have very, very little friends. I'm gonna let that ride there because like we can go, dude, where we can go with that is so sensitive that people would take it personal. But it is the Haitian people that are its own worst enemies. You said a mouthful. It ain't nobody else gonna come in Haiti to fix some of the issues. It is us, okay? So
One of your,
Joel,
I seen a comment. It said, "Jorge, I'm Haitian and I'm not broke." Of course not. I'm not. When did I say that? What? See, that's why I don't talk about this type of stuff or nothing because people just understand from where they want to understand from. What? Who would say that?
yeah, we're not saying all
I
Haitians
said
are
when
broke.
people migrate, but okay, I understand. No, trust me, I know a lot of people here and in the States that are Haitian that have money. So that's that. We're talking about the people that migrate illegally. Obviously, they're leaving
Mhm.
for some type of financial situation or to some type of opportunity. Never would I say that. Oh, they're all. Where'd that come from?
No, no, no. That's not what we're saying, guys. We're not here to belittle Dominicans or Haitians. And definitely, we're not saying that Haitians are broke. So, y'all know y'all not broke. You work too hard to be broke, Haitians. So, nobody is saying that, as well as Dominicans. Joel, it is not always about the money, it is more complex. Haitians have a different view from Dominicans. Haitians do occupy the health services. It is not a joke. We are poor, but have to share the little we have with Haitians who dislike who we are. I wouldn't say Haitians dislike Dominicans because, for the most part, in our country, I'm going to do something and I'm going to share it with the world. I'm going to see if it works so that you can get a Haitian point of view about the Dominican people. because to think that Haitians do not hate people, right? Haitians are quicker to hurt each other than to hurt a foreigner.
But that's all communities. All communities are like that. If you go to where I'm from in DC, you go
Mm-hmm.
before they fixed it up. You go to Southeast or you go to Baltimore. Guess what? Guess who's committing crimes against each other? They'll be like, "Oh, don't go to that neighborhood because you're gonna get locked
Mm-hmm.
up." But we'll go to our own neighborhood. But that's everywhere. That's why I say I don't really like having discussions, and I did this one for you because how I feel about you dearly. But I really don't like having discussions that try to generalize or put everybody in one box, because it's
Mm-hmm.
not the case.
It's
You know what
not.
I'm saying? It's not all Dominicans, it's not all Haitian. There's a lot of Haitian doctors here, entrepreneurs here. Right in front of my building, it's like a whole Haitian family. They own a sneaker store, they own a clothing store. Next to it, they own a car wash. They're doing productive things. But here go the problem. We like to focus on the bad as
Mm-hmm.
instead of focusing on what's going correct or focusing on
Mm-hmm.
what we can do correct. It's way easier for somebody to be like, you know what, that person right there is doing this wrong. Well, then why don't you come and fix it or teach them how to do it
Yes,
right?
that's right.
It's easy to be like, I'm telling you, I'm not a YouTuber. I have a YouTube channel only because it's therapy and it helps me with my situation. But I'm not a YouTuber. I'm an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur in other avenues. You talk to me about trucking, talk to me about real estate, talk to me about financing, talk to me about taking care of my family. Those are what I'm a professional about. YouTube to me is just conversation, meeting people, having a good time, spreading information in my experience. I'm not no
Mm-hmm.
professional at no immigration. It's like we always say,
None of us are.
I'm not a professional at dementia. My mom just so happens to have dementia, and I'm just so you can say I'm a professional because I'm dealing with it day by day. But I'm not a book smart person, or I didn't go to school for it. So what I'm saying is, it's easy to point and be like, "Yo, this Haitian, yo, there's opportunity." And like I said, it all depends on who's wearing and what lenses you're looking from. Me, obviously, I view things as a Dominican that came to the Dominican Republic on different situations. Just like you
Mhm.
might view it different from
The
most
average Haitian.
average Haitian, right? Because you came from the States, but you didn't go to Haiti rich, right? You didn't go to Haiti,
No.
but there are people that went to Haiti with a great financial situation. They view Haiti differently. You know, a lot of people
Mhm.
might be like, "Oh, Haiti is bad." I seen one of your subscribe. I mean, you brought a young lady to your channel, and I
And
see some
she's very successful in
and I
Haiti.
see, and I see her channel, and she why isn't there more of her?
The
Guess what?
outlook.
She makes
Mm-hmm.
me want to go and visit
To
and see
Haiti.
some of the places that. But guess what? How many Haitians do that? We're gonna always show the bad part because that's what get
Mm-hmm.
you. We're gonna show the slums and this, and there's slums everywhere. I can go to any state in America, like Stallion say,
Mm-hmm.
either California, New York, Florida, Maryland, Washington D.C., and I can show you the slums of those places. But see, that's what they
Mm-hmm.
want us to do. So that guess what?
Mm-hmm.
That messes up tourism. If you had more
Mm-hmm.
people like her, like the person that you brought
Mm-hmm.
on to and show how nice it is and the good
Mm-hmm.
side of that of Haiti, more people will want to go. But no, that's not
Mm-hmm.
what we're going to do. We want to just show the bad people.
Because
That's just like Africa. How many people?
Haiti, let me I will interject a little bit. Haiti is very political, and when you watch YouTube on Haiti, YouTube, the YouTubers that are really getting the views right now in Haiti are mainly the ones that do politics, the politicians, the this, the that. Not many of us are politicians. You know, I don't I don't follow the Haitian news, the government, the this and that. And me personally, This is me personally, okay? And I've worked with almost every YouTuber that speak English. It's not just about showing the beauty of Haiti, because keep in mind the beauty of Haiti is limited to maybe 10% of Haiti. The thing is, what do you do with that within your community? All right. And that is one of the big problems for Haitian people. All right. What do we do in our community? See, in the US, you have that home, you have to pay taxes. There has to be, you have to apply yourself somewhat in the community. And I applaud my sister because she does. But it is too many people that are living the high life in Haiti that have completely disregarded the mass amount of Haitian people. So we want to show the beauty of Haiti, but just showing the beauty of our country should not, that could also be misleading. And that's just realistic.
No, I mean,
Because
but
just to show you beautiful spots and have you delusional into coming, and then you pull up at the airport by yourself without any information just from what you are seeing, then that is misleading too, because you got to know the ins and outs of what you're getting yourself into. That's just my opinion.
no, no, you're 100% right. But you know, just like anything, you have to show the good, but you have to do also show the bad. But what I'm saying is, she does a great job in showing the good.
Mm-hmm.
And if there were
That's
more
true.
people like that, you know, tourism is for a lot of these countries one of the big money makers. Gives a lot of opportunities to locals as well, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
when I see her videos, it sparks the interest, just like Stallion said. At the end of the day, it's all money. So if we can get more tourism on that side, just like they got, one thing about Dominican Republic that is great is they understand, not to say that Haitians don't understand, but they understand that tourism is what's going to move mountains. So they do the most they can to push tourism here. What do you always see? Beaches in Punta Cana, beaches in Samaná, beaches here, beaches there. They push that. Where they learn that from? Advertisement is so powerful. It's so powerful. That's what I say. We as our own community have to push. Yes, I get it. You do have to show the bad, but in order to get the tourism, there is good also. Show the good too. But I get what you're saying. It's not afforded to everybody. But that's the same situation here too.
True. Stallion. You've carried five people, five people. Thank you so much, Stallion. Stallion says, if Haiti was the wealthier country and the Dominican Republic was poor, the same friction would be there. The Dominicans would be less respected. Wow.
Look at
Plus
what
the Haitian. Uh-huh.
look at what EDP. Now DR government is harassing Haitians that are legal in the Dominican Republic. Like, this is why YouTube to me sometimes is kind of like we as Americans get harassed by our own government in the States, right? I
That's
mean,
true.
it doesn't make it right, but it's not something to blast about, me personally. But
Haitian Warrior King says, Joel, the Dominicans that's living in Haiti are not there to work or help Haiti out. They're there to steal. Wow.
uh-oh.
Maurice, not everyone is the same. Stop that mentality. I do not think everybody is the same, Jimenez. Let us send every Dominican back to DR and every Haitian back to DR.
Yeah.
Elvis says, why Haitians born in the DR don't call themselves Haitians, Dominican? My two sons were born in NYC and they consider themselves Dominican. I think that has to do with the household too, you know. I don't think it's the country. That's within the house thing. I said I'm not Haitian. Hold on a second. Mr. Wilson Jean, how's it going? Haiti is the only black nation gained their independence and lost it just a few years after. Haiti is under the United States and France, so that's why we are suffering. Uh, ta- 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 ta. My sister Patricia says to all of my Haitians, Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, guys. Wilner says, I went to high school with this brother. I had no idea he was Dominican, and he probably did not know I was Haitian as well. I appreciate his perspective. Wow. Do you know Wilner?
I can't. I gotta see his picture. My thing, another thing about YouTube, so many people comment as professionals. Why not come on the panel and talk about it? I don't understand. I'm telling you that I'm not a professional. I'm just giving you my perspective on where I sit with my lenses. I've never heard you claim that you was a professional either, right?
No.
I don't understand like why people, but it's easier, I guess, just to type. But I don't know. Like I said, it's always going to be a touchy subject. But if you look at, you can see value on both sides of the fence.
Um, and anyways, guys, I do encourage you to visit both Dominican Republic, and I definitely encourage you to visit Haiti, guys. So we're not here to, let's say, big eyes and small U's. We're here to give a different perspective as to why a Dominican will feel the way that they feel when a Haitian comes into their country. What opportunities is taken from them and how much longer it pushed them behind in a line, okay? And for a Haitian to understand too, vice versa, okay? For my Haitians who are watching, guys, it takes us. It takes us to continue to push Haiti. It takes us to continue to be patriotic. It takes us to have integrity, to put honesty, to put fairness, to put love of the people. It takes us to love our country. We can say all that we want to say about DR, but one of the things that I do admire about Dominicans is that they love their country enough to represent their country. They love their country enough to keep it clean, to push for tourism. They love their country enough to get their government together to give security to the people so that the country can walk a certain way. Just because I'm saying I'm Haitian, you Dominican, should we be at war? No, we should not be at war, guys. We are all one of the same. If we continue with the division, if we continue with that mentality, things are not going to get any better. From a perspective of a young lady that was raised in the US, I understand why many of my peoples run to the rescue of DR. They are solely in search of security. They are in search of what many of you guys who are watching me all over the world left Haiti for. It is no different from today. They are even in search of what George's mother at some point was in search of that DR did not offer. That opportunity, the security, the this, the that. But know that as we enter other people's country, it will not always be peaches and cream. There are going to be difficulties. We're going to come across certain things that we probably wouldn't run across if we were at home. My only encouragement today, because if I could take things back, I would do a lot of things different. Yet I did not have someone like myself in my life encouraging me to teach me. For you guys that follow me, for the young Haitian for the Haitian Americans who follow me, right? If I am inspired by you at all, I want to encourage you to save, to visit your country. I want you to understand that you can live in Haiti. My sister Ruthie B is showing you that Haiti, guys, is somewhere where you can live. You definitely can be successful in our country. You can have a good life in Haiti. Let nobody tell you different. But it takes you. Don't just carry the flag. Many of us just carry the flag. We're so happy on Flag Day. But what do you do for Haiti? How are we representing Haiti? Let's not just represent just by words. What? Words is nothing, guys. Let's do something with our actions because many of us Haitians, like myself, are prideful. When Haiti is talked about in the wrong way, we are sensitive and we dislike that. So we need to make we need to make a decision amongst ourselves. If we want it to change, guys, we got to put our hands together. I know many of you all that follow me, y'all know powerful people in our country. You can make a phone call for Marie and get some doors open for Marie. You guys know who you are. Let's keep chipping. Let's keep chipping because if things change for DR, if things change for other countries, it definitely can and it will change for us too. Miss, my sister Patricia, you've carried 20 people, 20 people. My brother Eli the Great, you've carried 50 people, 50 people. Thank you so much, my brother, for your love and your continuous support of life in Haiti. I thank you all so, so much. I love you guys. So, my brother, I don't want to hold you too much. Do you have any last word that you would like to say before we part ways on the live?
Man, love everybody, man. Life is short, man. That's one thing I learned with my mom's illness. Life is short. If we just focus on the bad going on in the world, man, life is tough. If you start focusing on the good things that's happening. So like now I view things that way. I used to be just like that. Oh, the problems, focus on the problems. But if I was to focus on the problems now, I go crazy because every day is a new problem with my mom, right? But I focus on the good things that she woke up in the morning. I focus on that she can still use the bathroom by herself. I focus, yeah, she might take an hour to take a shower, but at least she can take a shower by herself, right? So I think that it's enough hatred. It's enough divide in the world. Let's just focus on the good things and be the change that you want to see. If you want to see positive things on any part of the world, how about start like Miss Marie did? Don't be a warrior in chat rooms. Don't be a warrior where nobody can see you. Start your own channel and be a warrior. Start your own foundation like Miss Marie. Don't say you don't got the money because she flew to Haiti. Well, she was deported to Haiti with no money. And look,
Return to Haiti.
so don't be a warrior in the comments. Like, come on, yo, that's not changing nothing. You can attack me. You can attack Miss Marie. At the end of the day, we go back to our lives, right? You know, but if you want to see the change, you be the change. You start a foundation. And I appreciate you, EDP, for subscribing to the channel, man. I really appreciate you. But yeah, like be that person. Don't be the person that, oh, this is wrong with this people and this is wrong with that people. The same people. You know, one thing that I've noticed about people, the same people we complain about, right? Be the same people we are sometimes. So instead of complaining, you change you to make change in the world. Like I used to always, real quick, I used to complain about my mom's employer when she was in the States. Man, my mom always done low income work, right? So she was making $12, $13 an hour. I was always complaining because I was the one who had to drive her to work, right? Not to get off topic. But guess who was the problem? Her son that was driving his mother, who is a housekeeper, in a $70,000 Range Rover to her job. But guess what I had to do? I had to take a real look in the mirror and be like, yo, they're not the problem. You're the problem, Jorge. You're the one driving her to a $12 job when you're driving a $70,000 Range Rover. Guess what I did then? My mom retired and never cleaned a room ever in her life again. She retired early. So guess what Jorge
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do no more? I wasn't driving the Range Rovers no more. I was driving the Toyota so that I can cover her expenses. So don't just
Mm-hmm.
complain.
Mm-hmm.
Be a Miss Marie.
Make a difference.
Don't complain.
People don't want to
Don't
hear that because
no,
it takes discipline.
it's easier
It
to
takes hard work.
it's easier to
It's so
act.
much easier to be, you know, but people don't want to hear the sacrifice, the hard. That's one of the things I tell you all the time. Like, I admire about you, and I admire about people doing things that you don't want to in order to get the work done.
Yeah.
You saw what was important. You know what? At the end of the day, we're all warring with each other, Jorge. Do you know that once we go, it ain't no Dominican or Haitian? It ain't no white or black. You see what's funny?
Yeah,
We focus so much on things of this world. Tomorrow you die. Life is not guaranteed to any one of us. And I leave here.
yeah.
Dominicans, they didn't say there's a special place for Dominicans only.
Oh,
There's a special place for Haitians only. Guys, let's stop fighting with each other about things that, let's just say, we're emotional. I have people in my life that keeps me grounded about things. And that's one of the things many of our Haitian people have to do. Because in our culture, we don't, there's no catering to anything mental. You cannot be depressed in our culture. A young kid cannot cry in our culture. You know, everything you just have to take. There's no there's no mental stimulation in a way. Is everything is personal. So let's stop taking personal things so personal, guys,
we all
in
need
life,
hugs.
period. In different cultures. Let's spread more love. We leave
Love.
on a good note, guys. Love. If you are a Haitian living in DR, let's spread more love. If you are African American living in America, guys, spread love. There are problems all over the world, all over the world. And just because this live is going on, it will not stop anything. But one thing I've learned that has brought me far with life in Haiti, Jorge, and I share this with many of my peoples, is to not be sensitive, is to never take things personal. I've walked in rooms with some of my great supporters, and in front of me, it felt like the news that I was hearing was stab wounds to life in Haiti. But I kept a straight face. I said my prayer through it all and asked God to give me the strength. And I continue to push, because it doesn't mean because one jump off that the answer is no. So me not taking it personal was my test. So it doesn't matter where we're at, guys. Let's stop taking things so personal, right? Let's love more. It'll take us a long way, right?
Yeah. And you do what you want the next man to do. It's always easy to get. But I appreciate you having
That's
me.
right.
Like I said,
That's right.
I don't know why you put me on the spot with this type of stuff. I never
Always.
I never talk politics. I never talk race. I never talk religion. I never talk none of that stuff. So I appreciate it. If I get any hate
This
mail,
is not politics. This is
I get
not politics. This
yeah,
is.
if I get any hate mail, thanks to you, I appreciate
Let
it.
me tell you something. The hate mail that I get, You listen, my brother. If you get hate mail, just this live could not have this live could be the tip of the iceberg. But if simply this live causes you to hate Marie, you know what? Hate don't live here.
Yeah,
Wow. Not
man, I say the same thing.
if somebody can do you know what, before you go, before we leave, no one's gonna hate you, my brother. And
Nah,
guys,
I
I
mean,
love you all. Please share the live,
I appreciate it.
right?
I
This
got
can't
different kind of
cause you
problems
any
with
hate.
honestly, like you start viewing life different when you know you going through something like this right now, you know. So like I say hate mail, but I really don't pay no mind to anything like that, especially anything on YouTube. When you when your number one
Uh-huh.
when you have to worry about like my type of problems be if it's 9 o'clock and I haven't heard my mom move, I gotta go check and see if she's breathing. You know what I'm saying? You when you have to do stuff
Uh-huh.
like that, you start viewing things a whole lot different. So I'm joking about the whole hate mail. I can, you know, obviously
Uh-huh.
respect everybody and I respect other people's opinion. Hey, you know, we all process information based off of our life experiences, you know. So I'm not mad at the next person that don't see it my way. They shouldn't be mad at me for seeing it my way, you know. So, like you say, love is love. I appreciate you your time. I appreciate your audience. And let me go tuck my mother in and give her her medication.
Please do, but as we leave, you can leave, but I'm gonna play a video for the audience and take somebody out, take all of us out, guys, on a positive note, right? And I hope you can watch it as the video go on, okay?
Yes.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go back and do it all over again.
Don't allow anybody, don't allow anybody to pull you so low as to make you hate them. I want to ask you a question, and that is, what is in your life's blueprint? Number one in your life's blueprint should be, don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count, always feel that you have worth, and always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Don't be ashamed of your color. Don't be ashamed of your biological features. Somehow you must be able to say in your own lives and really believe it, I am black but beautiful. And believe it in your heart. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. When you discover what you're going to be in life, set out to do it as if God Almighty called you at this particular moment in history to do it. It falls your lot to be a street sweeper. Sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Leontine Price sings before the Metropolitan Opera. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. And so from an old slave cabin of Virginia's hills, Booker T. Washington rose up to be one of America's great leaders. He lit a torch in Alabama, and darkness fled in that setting from a poverty-stricken area of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Marian Anderson rose up to be the world's greatest contralto, so that a Toscanini could say that a voice like this comes only once in a century. And Sibelius of Finland could say, my roof is too low for such a voice from crippling circumstances. There came a George Washington Carver to carve for himself an imperishable niche in the annals of science. Then came Joe Louis and Muhammad Ali with their educated fists. All of them came to tell us that we can be somebody. Skin may differ, but affection dwells in black and white the same. If I were so tall as to reach the pole, or to grasp the ocean at a span, I must be measured by my soul. The mind is the standard of the man. Finally, in your life's blueprint must be a commitment to the eternal principles of beauty, love, and justice. Don't allow anybody to pull you so low as to make you hate them. I close by quoting once more the man that the young lady quoted, Langston Hughes. One day he wrote a poem entitled Mother to Son. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stat. It's had tacks in it, boards torn up, places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time, I's been a climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you stop now. Don't you sit down on the steps, cause you find it's kind of hard, but I's still going, boy. I's still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl, but by all means, keep moving.
But by all means, keep moving. Don't allow anybody to pull you so low as to hate them. Guys, hate shouldn't live in your heart. There's no room for it. So as always, guys, kindly like, share, be kind to one another. Give somebody a hug and tell somebody you love them, guys. Let's spread more love than hate, guys. Thank you all so very much. I hope you all enjoy that speech by a great man. Don't allow anybody to pull you so low as to hate them. There's people that's done things to me. There are places I've been through in Haiti that you think some people I should hate them. And I think that might make a person hate you even more, because the more they do to you, you don't hate them. You always show love. So never allow anybody. Haitians, let's not hate Dominicans. Dominicans, let's not hate Haitians. Y'all, let's show more love. And always keep in mind, people don't want to hear the reality of this, but these are realities, right? We are just passing through. Once we leave, guys, we don't take that land. We don't take that title. We don't take all of that is all temporary. But isn't God awesome that he designed it that way? Because he know heaven would be a mess. So I thank you guys so much. Jimenez Production. You carry 10 people, 10 people. Thank you guys so very much for your love and support. So y'all should be seeing me soon. And I'm calling some of you guys about to sponsor a child program. I'll tell you guys about that more. But thank you all. Have a blessed night. And yes, y'all see me with my little son. I did not want him to come here, but he wanted to be here. So spread love, guys. I'm a living example of that. All right. It's not just about talk, but we put actions behind our love. And the minute us Haitian people learn to love each other more, learn to bring back the early family values that we've had in our culture, we can have more people stay home. We can have more people seek opportunities, be ready to come back home, so that our culture, we don't lose our culture, guys. I am a Haitian woman and I love Haiti. And I represent Haiti. I want to encourage you to visit Haiti. The history of Haitians, of who we are. Let's stop talking bad about our country, guys. It is for us and for the many YouTubers that continue to push Haiti. I just want to big each and every one of you guys up. Y'all know we collab, we do work together. I love it. I love it, guys. Let's continue to push for Haiti, by Haitians, whatever you want to call it, guys. But at the end, we are just passing through. This is just our worldly mark. All right. Doesn't matter who you are. You can be rich, poor. You can be whoever you are. It is reality, guys. We don't own nothing here. And I'm so glad that God designed it like that, because I'm pretty sure one man will probably have ownership to almost everything, right? I'm taking it with me. But God is awesome, right? So let's stop doing the most as far as fighting with each other over things, guys. Let's spread more and more love, guys. So until next time, y'all take care. Love you guys. Have a good night, guys. You want to say bye-bye? Deal, boy, say good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Deal. Deal. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
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 That's right. Good night, guys. Wah, aqui mano. Passez maman fou. Kounya devant télévision parler pour pas. Il faut un pile temps là parler pour pas moi. Good night, guys.